Hi, my name is Anandeshwari. I'm a clinical psychologist. Today we're going to do the next chapter in the psychological testing unit called reliability. Now, just to recap a little bit, in the previous video, I had explained to you the psychology's movement towards universalization. Now, that's a recurrent theme that will occur across this unit. So, just to give you a brief revision of that theme, so psychology again owes its origin to physiology and philosophy. In the 19th century, the idea or the quest in psychology was to reach a science that is modeled after physiology, and therefore the idea was to reach or to formulate a science that is exact, precise, and more importantly, universal, right? Now, it's important for you to remember this throughout because we'll keep revisiting this theme, right? When we say that it should be universal, right? And when we are devising tests or in psychological testing, what would universalization mean, right? A universalization in psychological testing would mean that a test, when administered, the results of the test will yield similar results across populations and across settings, provided the conditions remain same, right? So, one of the important aspects of this universalization, or one of the important steps to ensure that the tests are exact, precise, and universal is reliability, right? Now, what do we know about reliability? Just from the word itself, when would you call a person reliable? You would call a person reliable if they do the same thing over and over again, right? For example, if you would say, if you have to entrust a responsibility to someone, when would you say that this person is reliable? You would say that this person is reliable if this person has consistently performed their responsibilities properly, right? So in reliability, consistency becomes the matrix to sort of judge reliability. It is the same thing for tests. Okay, so a shortcut formula to remember what is reliability and to not get confused with the other aspects of psychological testing is to remember the literal meaning of reliability. Reliability means consistency, right? You judge reliability via consistency. Now, what is reliability? So reliability again is the consistency or repeatability of a test. What does that mean? It means that if a test is repeated across settings or across timelines or even across population, it delivers similar results provided the conditions remain same. For example, to contextualize this a little bit, if I am a clinical psychologist and if I give someone, say, a test of depression, and in my test, the person is moderately depressed, if this person, without any intervention or without any significant time lapse in between, goes to another psychologist and the psychologist was to administer the test would give similar results, right? So the person would still be judged to be moderately depressed. So what does that mean? That the person is consistently depressed or consistently showing the same results. The test is consistently showing the same results across settings and across examiner. So we can say that the reliability of the test is high. Okay. Now, again, reliable tests, similar results under consistent conditions. Now, what is consistent conditions? You must have noticed I've been using consistent conditions phrase since the starting of the lecture. Consistent conditions means that the condition in which the test is administered, right, remains the same. Matlab, if the test is administered, say, in a very quiet room to a population that is sort of normally distributed in terms of intelligence, which means that some people are very intelligent, some people are in the middle, some people are not so intelligent, then, and the conditions of test administration, there is no loud noises, it's neither too hot nor too cold, the instructions are clear, all of that are consistent conditions. If these conditions are replicated, then the test results should be similar. For example, if you suddenly change the population, right? If you suddenly change the population and the population now has a larger number of people who are very intelligent, your results will be skewed, right? Because the population is different. Or if you change the condition in terms of the setting, the person is suddenly taking a test in a setting where there is a lot of loud noise. So the results will be different, and the results or the score that you get would not reflect the person's intelligence, but would be influenced by confounding variables, right? Confounding variables. What is confounding variables? Confounding variables are variables that are not under the control of the examiner, right? So it is an extraneous variable that is affecting the score of the individual. Now this becomes, reliability of course becomes the foundation of all psychological measurement, because a test will not be able to be regarded as universal if the findings are not consistent, right? How can you say with confidence that, supposing for an IQ test, how can you say with confidence that this person has borderline IQ, right, or borderline level of mental retardation? You can say that with confidence because you know that the test that you are using is reliable. Why is it reliable? Because it will deliver similar or consistent results. कंसिस्टेंसी जहाँ भी आएगी वहाँ यूनिवर्सलाइजेशन आसान हो जाएगा, राइट? as soon as you speak about consistency, you are basically saying that it will reveal the same results across populations or across conditions. Okay, now there are two types of reliability: internal and external, right? What does internal and external reliability mean? Internal reliability means कि टेस्ट के जो आइटम्स हैं वो इंटरनली रिलायबल है, मतलब इंटरनली कंसिस्टेंट रिजल्ट्स देते हैं. व्हाट डज दैट मीन? For example, in a test item, you will always see if there are different attributes being measured by the test. Say, even if you take a very basic test, say like a depression test. So if there are different attributes, one is measuring psychomotor retardation, right? Then this attribute will be measured by different questions in the test, right? So when the test is internally reliable, it means कि हर question में उसका psychomotor retardation आएगा या नहीं आएगा, right? ऐसा नहीं होगा that एक question में बहुत ज़्यादा psychomotor retardation आ रहा है, एक question में आ ही नहीं रहा है. So that means that the test is internally reliable, right? When you say externally reliable test would mean when this test is correlated across raters, right? Or across raters, across conditions, then you would say that the test is externally reliable, right? Then it is, how is reliability measured? How would you know कि ये reliable है या नहीं है? You would know by calculating the correlation coefficient. These are all aspects that we will cover later on in this lecture. Okay. Now, significance of reliability. Why is reliability important? We've been talking about it since the starting of the lecture. The first thing is that it will ensure the trustworthiness of the test. What is trustworthiness of the test? You can say with confidence that this test is consistent. This test, you can actually stand by the results of your test, right? So it is the trustworthiness of results, right? Now the second aspect is accuracy. What does accuracy mean? Accuracy means that if the test, so for example, we were talking about internal consistency, right? Now, if the test is internally consistent, matlab, you have measured different facets of a particular trait and they are all showing the same results. Okay, they are all sort of agreeing with each other within the test. You can say that the test is accurate, right? Or if different examiners are giving the test to the population, it is showing the same results, maybe not, but similar results, right? So you can say that it is accurate because you are getting confirmation again and again, right? So you can say that this test is accurate. Now, it is unreliable tests can mislead conclusions. This is, of course, an obvious point that if a test is unreliable, right? If a test is, say, a test that fails to show similar results, you cannot conclude or you cannot reach a sort of a funnel down to an answer. For example, if you are giving someone a test of depression and anxiety and you notice that the test is unreliable, what would happen? Say the test is giving you very inflated results, right? The scores are inflated, which shows that this person is highly or severely depressed. Okay, see how dangerous it is, because you can start your treatment based on the results. The person may actually get the wrong treatment, right? And then when this test is, say, performed by another clinician, the results become really skewed. It shows that this person is not depressed at all. This person is just sad, right? So then you have been treating a person, giving them medication, giving them therapy. Of course, one aspect is that you are wasting resources, but the other aspect is that this person is receiving treatment when none is required, right? So that's why it can have very, very dangerous results. And also, if you look at it from an objective or a logical point of view, diagnosis will be so confusing, right? Because if a test is saying high depression and another test is saying there's no depression at all, who do you believe? Which test do you believe, right? Or which clinician do you believe, right? If a test is saying high depression, the same test is saying no depression, which clinician do you believe? So consensus kabhi nahi aa payega. Agar consensus nahi aa payega, to remember what we discussed in the first slide. हम कभी भी यूनिवर्सलाइजेशन की तरफ नहीं बढ़ पाएंगे. So if you look at it from this lens, in fact, in this entire unit, if you remember that what is the goal here, it will be very easy for you to logically understand these concepts, right? Now we move on to the types of reliability. What are the types? There is test-retest reliability, alternate form reliability, split half reliability, and interscorer reliability. Now the first three are majorly, not exactly, but majorly used to assess the internal reliability, while the last is an assessment of external reliability. We will go into the details of all of this.